Then shut your mouth. That's the first rule. You don't need to explain yourself, justify your emotions, or react to every little thing. The moment you show the world that you're easily bothered, you hand over your power. You become a puppet dancing for anyone who pulls your strings. Real power. It's quiet, it's calm, it's calculated. Most people are slaves to their emotions. One insult, one rejection, one bad day, and they spiral. They scream, they post about it, they throw tantrums, weakness on full display, and then they wonder why no one respects them. But control your emotions and you control your life. Simple. When you're silent in the face of chaos, you terrify people. They don't know what you're thinking. They don't know what you're planning. That's when you've won. This world rewards results, not reactions. You don't get respect by whining. You earn it by walking into the storm, stone-faced and unfazed. So, next time someone tries to trigger you, smile, walk away. Let your silence slap them harder than your words ever could. While others are busy reacting, you'll be busy building. While they talk, you work. While they scream, you strategize. And when the dust settles, they'll realize you were 10 moves ahead the whole time. Be silent. Act as if nothing bothers you. Not because you're weak, but because you've already won. Power lies in emotional control. Because the moment you let your emotions dictate your behavior, you surrender control of your life. People who can't control their emotions are predictable, weak, and easy to manipulate. When you react emotionally, whether it's anger, frustration, or sadness, you're not acting out of reason or logic, you're acting out of impulse. And impulsive decisions are rarely the right ones. The world doesn't care about your feelings. It respects discipline. It respects composure. Emotional outbursts are a luxury only the powerless can afford. Look around you. The most successful individuals aren't the loudest in the room. They're not the ones venting, arguing, or complaining. They're the ones who sit back, observe, and move strategically. When you can stay calm in chaos, you become dangerous. You become the person that can't be read, can't be shaken, and can't be broken. That silence, that control, it intimidates people because they don't know where you stand. You stop playing checkers and start playing chess. Emotional control is a skill. It's not natural. It takes discipline to not respond when you're disrespected. It takes strength to keep your mouth shut when someone's trying to provoke you. Weak men lash out. Strong men hold their ground. They understand that giving a reaction means giving power. You react in anger, you've shown your weakness. You cry in front of your enemies, you've shown your crack. The person who provokes you has won, not because they're stronger, but because you let them control how you feel. If you want to lead, if you want to dominate, you have to become immune to emotional manipulation. That's the game. People will test you, they'll insult you, betray you, challenge you. Not because they care, but because they want to see if they can throw you off. If you take the bait, you lose. But if you look them dead in the eye and smile like nothing touches you, you win. You show them you're bulletproof. And that scares people more than any threat ever could. When you train yourself to not react, to stay composed in every situation, you unlock a higher version of yourself. You begin to think clearly. You start making moves based on strategy, not emotion. You don't fight every battle. You choose the ones worth fighting, and you win them with precision. You don't need to talk about how strong you are. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. Your silence does it for you. Emotional control is the foundation of true power. Without it, you're just another person screaming into the void, trying to be heard. With it, you're a force, calm, dangerous, and unstoppable. Silence commands respect because it signals a level of strength and composure that words cannot. In a world where everyone is eager to speak up, share their opinions, and seek validation, the person who remains silent stands out. People don't respect the loudest voice in the room. They respect the person who can hold their ground without saying a word. The person who doesn't need to scream to be heard. The one who doesn't feel the urge to constantly talk is perceived as someone in control. Silence has power. It allows you to stand apart from the chaos and avoid being dragged into pointless noise. The louder you speak, the less attention people will pay to what you're saying. In contrast, when you choose to remain silent, people pay closer attention to you. It makes them wonder why you're not reacting, what you're thinking, and how you're able to stay so composed when everyone around you is losing their cool. People instinctively gravitate towards silence because they know that someone who can remain silent in the face of chaos isn't easily influenced, they're not easily manipulated. Silence sends the message that you don't care about drama, opinions, or superficial conflicts. It signals that you are above that level of interaction. It's almost as though you're untouchable, impervious to the noise of the world. It shows that you're focused on something more important than engaging in petty arguments or trying to win everyone's approval. It also gives the impression that you know something others don't, that you have a sense of control over your emotions and a higher understanding of the situation. It makes you appear enigmatic and therefore more powerful. When you choose to remain silent, people are forced to confront their own insecurities and assumptions. If they can't provoke a reaction from you, they start to question what's going on inside your mind. Silence creates an aura of mystery. It keeps people on edge, wondering if you're planning something, if you're calculating, if you're simply biding your time. It prevents people from getting a handle on who you are and what you might do next. In a world full of predictable behavior, silence makes you unpredictable, and unpredictability is a tool of power. Moreover, silence also places you in a position of authority. The person who is always speaking risks losing credibility because people begin to tune them out. There's only so much space for words before they become noise. But the person who speaks only when necessary, who doesn't waste words, commands respect when they do choose to speak. Their words are valued more because they are rare, deliberate, and impactful. In moments when they do speak, others listen, knowing that everything they say carries weight. In all aspects of life, silence creates space for action. It's the subtle weapon that ensures you don't need to prove yourself in every moment. The less you say, the more people watch your every move, trying to decipher your intentions. This sense of curiosity and respect gives you the upper hand, allowing you to navigate through life with confidence and power. Emotions are a liability because they cloud your judgment and make you vulnerable to manipulation. When you allow your emotions to dictate your actions, you lose control. Emotions, while natural, are often irrational. They can mislead you, cause you to act impulsively, and make decisions based on how you feel rather than what is logically best for you. In the heat of the moment, anger, fear, or frustration can drive you to make decisions that you'll regret later. Once you react emotionally, you've lost the ability to think clearly and act strategically. People who let their emotions control them are predictable and easy to manipulate because they reveal their weaknesses through their reactions. For example, when you allow someone to provoke you into anger or frustration, you're giving them control over you. They know how to push your buttons and trigger an emotional response. In that moment, you're not in control of your actions, they are. The person who can make you angry can direct your energy and focus while you become distracted by your own feelings. In this state, your decisions become less rational. You stop thinking about the bigger picture and instead focus on the immediate emotional reaction. As a result, you end up giving away your power, and in doing so, you let others dictate your actions. When emotions control your behavior, you also risk alienating the people around you. Nobody respects someone who is constantly flying off the handle, overreacting to minor issues, or letting their emotions dictate their responses. Emotional instability creates instability in relationships, both personal and professional. In any high-pressure situation, whether in business or social dynamics, people will always watch how you handle yourself. If you react with fear or frustration, they'll see you as weak. If you maintain composure even when under pressure, they'll see you as someone who can be relied upon to make sound decisions and lead with confidence.